It would appear that Donald Trump's ambitions to acquire Canada are actually quite serious, and with a prorogued parliament, this is the only man at the negotiation table. Ladies and gents, welcome back. We are in quite the pickle here in Canada. And I'd like to say I'm reporting from Canadian soil, but I'm not sure what I'll be calling this pretty soon, what we're standing on, because there is an actual ambition from Donald Trump to acquire Canada, as we've seen, and we'll be looking at, I'll bring up that clip very shortly. But before we do, Table Salt reporting saying, let me tell you something. Canada is in a lot of trouble right now. No parliamentary oversight, tariffs coming, bad economy, high cost of living, and superpowers licking their chops because we're down. Trudeau did this. Trudeau might be the end of Canada. I'm not kidding. I'm not serious. And I said, I'm seeing this. I'm with you on this. It's really crazy where this is going, because we're seeing actual scenes like this in the United States where they're actually talking about this. They're legitimately discussing this because this is a real possibility of occurring.
You said you were considering military force to acquire Panama and Greenland. Are you also considering military force to annex and acquire Canada?
No, economic force. Because Canada and the United States, that would really be something. You get rid of that artificially drawn line, and you take a look at what that looks like, and it would also be much better for national security. Don't forget, we basically protect Canada. But here's the problem with Canada. So many friends up there. I love the Canadian people. They're great. But we're spending hundreds of billions a year to protect it. We're spending hundreds of billions a year to take care of Canada. We lose in trade deficits. We're losing massive. We don't need their cars. You know, they make 20% of our cars. We don't need that. I'd rather make them in Detroit. We don't need the cars. We don't need their lumber. We have massive fields of lumber. We don't need their lumber. We have to unrestrict them because stupid people put, restrictions on, but I can do that with an executive order. We don't need anything they have. We don't need their dairy products. We have more than they have. We don't need anything. So why are we losing $200 billion a year and more to protect Canada?
So there's a lot of truth to what he's saying here. I mean, Canada puts out a bunch of products and sells them to the United States, all products that they could produce themselves. They could absolutely do it themselves. And it looks like he's, freeing up restrictions, freeing up red tape, freeing up regulations that would make it possible for American manufacturers to absolutely jump in and take over what it is that we do. One thing that we do have is natural resources that we do not even touch. In fact, our government has been limiting our ability to touch them even further. And this is a big problem. Now, if the United States came in and took over the show, they'd be able to do that, as he's pointing out here. With an executive order, he would just get rid of everything that this Trudeau government has put in place to stop us from utilizing our natural resources. One of the things that would benefit the United States if we were to do so, but because we're not, it's really not much of a deal for them at all.
I said that to, as I called him, Governor Trudeau. I said, listen, what would happen if we didn't subsidize you, if we didn't, because we give them a lot of money. We help them. As an example, we're buying icebreakers, and Canada wants to join us in the buying of icebreakers. I said, we don't really want to have a partner in the buying of icebreakers. We don't need a partner. But no right. Nope. No right. Here's what we have. We have a right not to help them with their financial difficulties because we owe $36 trillion too. We're going to start knocking it out pretty fast, but we're going to be able to do it because of energy and other things. But no right. No right. But why are we supporting a country, $200 billion plus a year? Our military is at their disposal. All of these other things, they should be a state. That's why I told Trudeau when he came down, I said, what would happen if we didn't do it? He said Canada would dissolve. Canada wouldn't be able to function.
We got the best negotiator at the helm. And again, as I said at the beginning of the video, with Parliament prorogued, Trudeau is the only guy dealing with this situation. Him and his chief of staff. That's what we have here. So Justin Trudeau put us in a worse situation by proroguing Parliament and doing this thing to try to fix the Liberal Party. Nobody wants the Liberal Party. We want the Liberal Party gone. It's clear if you look at the polling data. But hey, he's just come to swoop in and save the day, right?
If we didn't take their 20% of our car market, they send us hundreds of thousands of cars. They make a lot of money with that. They send us a lot of other things that we don't need. We don't need their cars, and we don't need the other products. We don't need their milk. We got a lot of milk. We got a lot of everything.
Now, that's a direct dig. Now, there's a giant tariff. I believe it. I don't know what it is with the United States. I think it was 250% with the UK. And that's why the UK last January walked away from trade negotiations. Literally walked away from the table. They said, put on your big boy pants and come back when you're serious about trade negotiations with a world superpower. This is Canada. This is Trudeau. This is our form of negotiation. Nobody wants our milk. Nobody wants it. The dairy cartel is really only to protect dairy farmers in Canada that could be doing other farming, by the way, and at the detriment to the consumer in Canada. But Trump's making a lot of sense here.
And we don't need any of it. So I said to him, well, why are we doing it? He said, I don't really know. He was unable to answer the question, but I can answer it. We're doing it because of habit, and we're doing it because we like our neighbors, and we've been good neighbors. But we can't do it forever, and it's a tremendous amount of money. And why should we have a $200 billion deficit and add on to that many, many other things that we give them in terms of subsidy? And I said, that's okay to have if you're a state. But if you're another country, we don't want to have it. We're not going to have it with European Union either. European Union, we have a trade deficit of $350 billion. They don't take our cars. They don't take our farm product. They don't take anything.
Yeah, it's absolutely understandable. Now, what has been some of the response in Canada? Well, here's Jugmeet Singh talking about how to negotiate with Donald Trump.
Donald Trump is acting more like an internet troll than a president of the United States. I don't think that's the way you act as a president, and it's certainly not the way you interact with other countries. But as I mentioned, I've dealt with bullies throughout my life, and I know what it's like. Even if you're the smaller guy, even if you're outnumbered, you got to make it not worth the bully's while. Bullies only understand strength. They only understand strength and pain.
Well, you've been showing us a lot of pain. That's absolutely right. And there's no strength. I mean, you're not going to go up and say, you're going to get in his face like you do people on the street in Canada. It doesn't work. It doesn't work on a world stage. Nobody takes you seriously, Jagmeet Singh. Sorry to break your stride there. But that's the reality. Now, America's making fun of us, even showing clips like this on Fox News media of the Green Party leader, Elizabeth May.
Hey, Donald, have we got a deal for you? You think we want to be the 51st state? Nah, but maybe California would like to be the 11th province. How about it? California? Oregon? Washington?
I think I saw her in an insurance commercial.
Yeah, obviously laughing at us for good reason. Elizabeth May getting up there completely drunk, it would appear. Why else would somebody talk like that? Joe Rogan even saying, how long would that invasion last? Are you kidding? Turning around and saying we should invade America? This is getting ludicrous, but this is our political class in this country. Nobody wants to take us seriously. And this is why we see posts like this from Donald Trump. Many people in Canada love being the 51st state. The United States can no longer suffer the massive trade deficits and subsidies that Canada needs to stay afloat. And, he's looking at it like legitimately, I could go in there and I could just take all the natural resources. Why wouldn't I? That would be a sweet deal for us. Justin Trudeau knows this and resigned. Did he really? If Canada merged with the US, there would be no tariffs, taxes would go way down, and they would be totally secure from the threat of the Russian and Chinese ships that are constantly surrounding them. Together, what a great nation it would be. This is turning into a real thing. Now, Ezra Levant chimed in with something that I found quite profound. He put this tweet on X, or tweet to the post on X. He said, "Why are Trump's 51st state comments resonating so loudly in Canada? Because of Trudeau himself. Justin Trudeau first won an election in 2015. He told an American newspaper, there is no core identity, no mainstream in Canada. He said, we're the first post-national state." And he leaves the source. Here it is. And I'll leave the links in the description down below. Since then, he's taken our founding prime minister off of the $10 bill. He's altered our national anthem. He's accused Canada of committing, I don't know if I can say that on YouTube, against our indigenous people, but he won't say that about China and the Uyghurs. He's removed historical symbols from our passport. He regularly accuses us of being racist, sexist, all of this stuff. He goes on. It's unbelievable the things that he's done to this country. He's, I'll leave you to read that afterwards. You can find that link in the description down below. He says, I could go on. In short, he's done everything to demoralize and to denature us. That's why Trump's statements about becoming the 51st state sting. That's why they hit home. Because for a decade, Trudeau and every institution in the country, the regime, media, the universities, the courts, the parliament, has said Canada means nothing. Every one of Trudeau's actions says Canada means nothing. It's really just a hotel. Well, Trump knows about hotels. Why wouldn't he buy one? Especially one that's so dilapidated. And this is where we are in Canada. Absolutely. Mark Nixon putting this out there saying, Justin Trudeau's biggest mistake in 9 years, proroguing Parliament, leaving us with him, stranded with him. And when he prorogued Parliament and quit, did he quit? No, he put himself at the forefront of all of this happening. When Trump imposes a 25% tariff, we will be paralyzed with no government to respond. The Liberals will be wiped out, reduced to 0 seats, and the party itself could collapse. Trudeau has just signed their death warrant. This is where we're at. This is where we're at, folks. And I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments down below. Does America even want us? Honestly, would they really want a giant left-leaning voting bloc? Or are we actually turning our thing around? And are we, I mean, we see the polling going towards the Conservatives. I don't know. I'd love to leave this one with you guys in the comments down below. Please leave a comment and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.